y'all, welcome back to my channel, Journey to Happiness. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe. So, this is going to be a story time about the time that I got a job as a security guard or security officer, and I quit after one day. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into it. So this happened, like, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. I was working in a nursing home and I got tired of it. So the job was I wasn't looking for a security guard job, but I know I wanted to try something different. So my friend, she worked at a nursing home, but she was like a secretary. So she didn't do any CNA work or anything, but I think she had quit. Yeah, this time she had quit. That's how me and her met. And I don't know how she found this job. I guess she was online and she was like, hey, why don't you try this? I'm gonna do it. So I applied to the job just because of her. And we had to take like a 3-day little class and pass this test, right? And we passed. And let me start by saying, I know a lot of people, when they think of security guards, they think of, oh, you just sit there all day. It's an easy job. All you gotta do is sit down and watch people. They be sleeping on night shift. Some security guard jobs are probably like that, maybe, but not the one that they sent me to. So the last day of class is when, is when we got sent to our locations that we'll be working at. They gave me my uniform and all that stuff. And for y'all that don't know, security guards they don't have any kind of weapons on them. Security guards are just regular people in uniform. They're not like a police officer. Security guards really don't have any authority, but they have that uniform on, so for the public thinks that they have authority, but really don't. That's what I was told in class. But it to the public, it looks like we have some authority because of our uniform, right? So a lot of places, they'll hire security guards just so, people won't steal from their store or whatever their establishment, because people are less likely to steal when they see a security guard at the door versus if there's not any security. So it's like a mental thing, kind of. But anyway, so the kind of security guard that I was, I don't have any kind of pepper spray, no, what do you call those things? I forgot what you call them. Tasers and stuff. I don't have no kind of weapon on me, really. So they assigned me to a gated community. People that lived on like lake houses, basically probably like a bunch of rich people, a rich neighborhood. I was going to be that person. It's a gated community, and everybody that lives there is supposed to have this like a tag or whatever, and they can go through a different section. They can just drive on in because they live there. But any of their guests, basically the guests, if they're having any company or whatever, the people that live there, they have to call to the security office, what do you call it, the security booth, and let the security guard know that, hey, I'm having 3 guests over today. You have to give the security guard their name, and I think their age, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Their name and age, and I think it's if they're 16 or older, or something like that. I don't know, y'all, forgot. But anyway, I know a security guard has to write it down in this book and keep record of it and all that kind of stuff. What time they get there, when they do get there, or whatever. And like, say if you're a guest, you have to come in and tell them your name, and then your name has to be on the list for the security guard to let you go through. So it seems like it would be an easy job, but something was in my spirit that told me, no, I'm not gonna be able to do this. For one thing, okay, let me start from the beginning. So I get there, the guy that is there, my trainer, he tells me that he's a retired sheriff, I believe he said. Okay, cool. He's probably like 75 years old, something like that. So, basically, one thing that threw me off was when, this guy, he was trying to get through, right? And, like I just said, guests, their name have to be on the list, which meaning whoever they come in here to see, that person has to call into the security office, call the security guard to let us know that you having a guest over. We need their name, and the name has to be on the list. So this guy and his girlfriend, right? I'm in North Carolina. This guy and his girlfriend, they said that they drove all the way from New York City to come visit his grandfather. Now that's like probably over a 10-hour drive from New York to North Carolina, if more than that maybe. So for whatever reason, his name wasn't on the list, and the guy, he was getting upset about it. He was getting mad, like, I just drove all the way to New York. And I understand you being angry, like driving all the way from New York to North Carolina, and you have to, you know, having these issues of getting in to see your grandfather. But your grandfather should have called. He lives there, so I know somebody has told him the rules, that he needs to call the security guard to let him know, my son, let's say his name is Melvin. My son, Melvin Miller, is coming to visit me today. His name is Melvin Miller. So that way the security guard can write his name on the list and it won't be no problem. So the guy, he started being kind of like aggressive, like a little aggressive. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna have to deal with this. Like, I'm gonna have to deal with people like this. So long story short, his grandfather called up there. He called his grandfather, and his grandfather called us the security guard and put his name on the list. So that solved the problem. But what just caught my attention was how aggressive the guy was getting with my trainer. And I didn't like that, because it's like, it's not his fault, you know, that your grandfather didn't call him to let him know it's not his fault. So another thing is, the guy that was training me, he told me, he was like, tomorrow, and I think it was a Saturday, he said tomorrow, because I was scheduled to come back the next day, right? I thought, oh, they're going to train me for at least 3 days so I can get the hang of everything. No, he was like, tomorrow you're going to be on your own. What? On my own? Now let me tell y'all, it might sound like an easy job, but let me tell y'all about this. So another thing is, we have to write down everybody's tag number. But like, I'm gonna be out. He told me that I will be expected to check people in, like, you know, the guests have to give me their driver's license or a form of ID. I have to make sure I write down their number, or not their number, I'm sorry, their name, and how old they are, I believe, and the time that they got here. So I have to do that. Then I hand them back their ID, right? Then a guest that's behind them, I have to check them in, do the exact same thing, take the driver's license, write them. But I also, at the same exact time, I'm going to be expected to write down the person that I just checked in. I'm supposed to write down their tag number. I'm supposed to look up at the camera as they drive off and write down their tag number. And to me, like, that's how I'm supposed to do it at the same time. And so he had me do a check. He had me check a couple of people in, right? And as I check somebody in, and I'm trying to get the person that was in front of them, I'm trying to get their tag number at the same time, right? And I missed like 2 letters or something like that. And he was like, hey, you didn't write down the tag right. Make sure it's very important they get their tag number right. I'm like, well, that's gonna be really hard. How am I supposed to? Okay, I'm writing down this person's name, and looking at their driver's license, writing down the time that they get here. At the exact same time, I'm supposed to look over to the camera while the car is driving off. The car is not being still. They don't tell people, hey, can you sit still for like 5 seconds so I can write your tag number down? No, as the car is driving off, I'm supposed to write down their tag number and make sure it's the accurate tag number. So obviously, I'm going to have to be fast at this. If you expect me to do this at the same time, I have to be fast at this. And also, was gonna be responsible for people's mail. I didn't know that. I didn't know security guards were responsible for people's mail. So this place, when people get packages and stuff, it comes to the security guard office area. And so somebody might come in there that lives there, be like, hey, I'm looking for my package, and it's my job as a security guard to get up, and they tell me their name and what their number of their house is, and I gotta go through all this mail, and it was a lot of mail. It's a big area. There might have been like 100 packages, and I gotta try to quickly find their package. And this was my very first time doing this. This man came in there, and this man looking at me like I'm slow or something. Like, this is my first time. I didn't know I was gonna be doing this. I didn't know I was gonna be responsible for people's mail. And it might sound simple to y'all, but it was a lot just to be doing all this at the same time. Because then I'm going to be having people, guests come over, and it was a holiday too. I don't remember what holiday this was. Like, this was like 4 years ago. But he was telling me, yeah, and tomorrow's a holiday, so it's going to be really busy tomorrow. Because, you know, during holidays, people have guests over, people have cookouts and family gatherings. So a lot of people, they're going to have, you know, a lot of company over. So what that means for me, I'm going to be busy checking these people in. I'm going to have to look at the license plate and make sure I write down the right one. Because if any type of incident happens, the real police, detectives or whatever, are going to look at my login to see what I got down here. And then see, they're going to be looking for people's tag numbers and stuff like that. So it's important that I have the right tag number down in case something like that happens. And it's just, I could just tell this job wasn't going to be for me, especially the fact that they said, I only get, I'm going to be by myself. He said, I'm going to be by myself the next day. The very next day that I come back, I'm going to be by myself. And I really just got to thinking about that in my head. I'm like, And I think the guy that was training me, he knew I wasn't coming back, or he had a feeling. It was a thought in his head, because when it was the end of our shift, or it was getting towards the end of our shift, I was like, is there anything else you need me to do? And y'all want to know what he said? He said, just show up tomorrow. Like, why would he say that? Like, if I'm scheduled to work tomorrow, why would I not? If nothing's wrong, if everything is okay, then why would I not show up tomorrow? So he knew something wasn't right. He knew I wasn't feeling that job. I believe that's why he said, just show up tomorrow. So I really got to thinking about this, and I texted, who did I text? I texted him, because he gave me his number. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow. I really should have told him then and there, but I didn't know how to come out and say it. And I wanted to think about it for a little bit, like, but something in my spirit told me not to go, and this just ain't the job for me. So nothing crazy happened. Like, I didn't have to stop any fights or anything, but it's just, I could tell, like, I just had a bad feeling about it, and that's the reason why. Especially, like, I only get 1 day of training, and you telling me I'm gonna be by myself. I'm a brand new security guard. I'm gonna be by myself on one of the busiest days of the year for security guards in the gated community, because you know it's gonna be hella busy. All these people, you know, coming, gonna have cookouts and shit. So I'm thinking to myself, I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to handle it. And then people coming at me, my mail's here. I gotta look through thousands of packages to try to find somebody's mail, which I didn't know security guards did that. So I really got to thinking, and I knew it wasn't for me. And that's why I quit after 1 day. I just knew it wasn't for me. My homegirl, she continued on with the job. She did it for like 6 months, and she quit. They actually made her a manager, but then she quit, and then she started working at Amazon. So that's why I quit after a day. I knew it wasn't for me. Maybe you thought I was like a security guard, maybe at a school or a mall or something, but be one in a gated community, I just knew, at least for this company, I knew it wasn't for me. I only get 1 day of training. That was, and I think that's what really scared me off too. Is 1 day of training, because it's like the first day you're on a job that you've never done before. You're trying to learn the job. You're learning what's expected of you, what duties that you have. Because like I said, one thing is I didn't even know I was gonna be responsible for people's mail. I didn't know that. And I'm expected to write these people's tag number down while I'm checking people in at the exact same time. And I have to make sure it's right. And also somebody wanted, like, this gated community, they have this building where the people that live there, they can throw like birthday parties and stuff if they want to. And this person was asking for a tour of that building. And I'm not good with directions. And the guy that was training me, he was like, can you show them? How the hell am I supposed to show them? And this is my first day on this job. I don't know this area. So I kind of felt like I was being, what do you call it? Thrown to the wolves a little bit. Like, how I'm supposed to show them? I don't know. So I got on a golf cart and he gave me the directions. Because, like I said, this is a big neighborhood. A bunch of rich people live on lakes and stuff. And I found it, but it's like, you just throwing me out there. Like, I don't know this area at all. So, yeah, I just felt like I wasn't going to be successful at it. Especially with only one day of training. Like, just one day. So that's the main reason I quit. Possibly, if I would have, had more training, maybe. But you ever had a gut feeling about something, and I just knew it wasn't for me. Like, you ain't about to have me here by myself tomorrow, struggling and stuff. No. So that's what happened. I just didn't like it. I ain't like that part about checking people in, looking at the tag, and I don't want to have to argue with people about, why I can't come in to visit my grandma or to visit this person because your name not on the list. And it's just, I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't for me. So that's the reason I quit. Nothing crazy happened. That's just, I could tell it wasn't for me. That's what happened. But yeah. But there's probably other easier security guard jobs out there. It's just like the whole gated community thing. I ain't want to do it, And that's the thing about jobs, everything ain't for everybody. So yeah, that's gonna be today's video. Comment below if you've ever been a security guard before, and what kind of job, like what kind of position did you have? Did you work in a gated community, or were you like a security guard at a mall, at a school, or at a store or whatever? And comment below. So yeah, that's gonna be in the video. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.